Hello everybody and welcome to the USPL Week 1 transactions video with Coach Oak. So what we're going to do here is look over what transactions have been made in between Week 1 and Week 2 in the league. And for you who don't know me, I'm Coach Oak. I'm jumping in as an analyst for this league. This is the first video you'll see of me. So hello, and let's go ahead and get started. We've got four teams making transactions this week, and we'll go over what they've done and how it might impact their team going forward. So first off, we've got the San Diego Azelfs dropping Haxorus to pick up Yuxi. I love this deal. Nothing against Haxorus, but with Druddigan already on the team, Druddigan does so much of the things that Haxorus does, and Yuxi brings so much that they didn't already have to the table. In terms of bulky psychic type and just being an absolute wall that can cause so much problems. Druddigan, I mean, it's still fairly offensive. It's got 120 attack with just a little bit slower attack, a little bit lower speed than Haxorus, but higher defensive. Is much more of a defensive dragon, but it can still be very offensive as well. But they've got so many big defensive threats that you have to prep for, that adding Yuxi to the fold is just one other thing that you have to be, makes it so hard to prep against this team with Yuxi and Mega Venusaur and Melodic and Druddigan. You've got bulky of all those types that you just don't want to really deal with. So I'm very much looking forward to see Yuxi setting up rocks, knocking things off, T-waving stuff, just sitting around and being a pain in the behind. And looking forward to Druddigan filling a little more of the offensive role that Haxorus filled, as well as being the defensive monster that we know it to be. So, next up we have the Boca Raton Raticates, who are dropping Golisopod and picking up Swampert. This deal is very much a kind of swap of what you want on your team. They're dropping their kind of second really good priority and picking up a second good rocker. So it's taking the pressure off Jirachi in terms of rocks, and its 4x weakness for Swampert isn't as big a deal, as they've got some other 4x weaknesses on the team to really mess around in prep and cause some problems there, where it's a toss-up of which hidden power the other teams want to run if they don't have the coverage for all those 4x weaknesses. So having a 4x weakness in the team is often bad. Having more can be good. But Swampert, bulky, rocker, can be fairly offensive. We've seen it do some things in Draft League before. Scarf Swampert from Monotui in the GBA this season comes to mind. And yeah, look forward to seeing the pressure taken off Jirachi in terms of rocks and just helping out in that front, and helping to see around how they play around losing the priority mon that Golisopod is and losing the spikes that it has, but swapping that for rocks. Alright, and now we're moving on to the Indiana Salamancers, making another deal I absolutely love, dropping Rhyperior and Garbodor for Rhydon and Drapion. I love this deal mainly because I feel like both switches are pretty one-for-one, but they're better. I think Rhydon's better than Rhyperior. Yes, your Rhyperior has 10 better base stats across the board, except in speed, but Eviolite. So Eviolite can make Rhydon just so much more defensive than Rhyperior, even though Rhyperior does have really good defense. But to only drop 10 in attack and HP and defenses that have that option of going Eviolite, and Rhydon doesn't need it. I mean, it's got 110 base attack. Run Banded, you can run some other things. You can run AV to heal up that. Actually, you wouldn't need to. Eviolite would be better anyways, but instead of AV on Rhyperior, you can just run Eviolite and not need all 4 attacks, and you can still be a rocker and all those things. Just so much more flexibility, and in my mind, Rhydon is better in this format than Rhyperior for sure. As well as same thing, Garbodor and Drapion do a lot of the same things. The additional dark typing really helps out Drapion. It can do knockoff as well. It's still got T-spikes. You do lose spikes. You do lose things like Acid Spray, but you get a little bit faster, and you've got knockoff spam to go along with that T-spikes, and you've got immunity to Prankster, you've got immunity to Psychic types. It really just fills up a few more notches on the checklist to me than Garbodor. which I'm sad to see go as it gets hated on, but I think it's got some good value in Draft League. But I think Drapion is much better, and I think Rhydon is going to be much more effective than Rhyperior because, again, Eviolite is a thing that it gets access to. So, moving on now to our last transaction of the week. We've got the Manhattan Metagross dropping Registeel and picking up Escavalier. I like this deal. I'm a little biased against the Reggies. I don't think they're that good. Registeel is the best of them, and it's got monstrous defenses, but Escavalier is still really bulky, and what it brings is a monster in Trick Room with its offense. Pair that thing with Ranunculus, and on a team that has Rain, that can go really fast and beat you with speed, with Torn T and Heliolisk in the Rain, and as well as, you know, Swift Swim Mons. You've got a really strong Trick Room mode that can be brought. Just bring Ranunculus or Diancie with the Escavalier, and you've got a really hard time prepping for that because you can't just bring Rain or Trick Room against the Rain team because they've got mons that can really, really hurt you. Really slow and really offensive as well as bulky. Fellstinger, Escavalier in Trick Room, I really just want to see that sweep. That's very much the type of style I like to run. That's the immediate set that I would be just itching to run with Escavalier right off the bat in Trick Room. So, that's it for your transactions this week in the league. I look forward to bringing you other videos analyzing different parts of the league as well as future weeks of transactions as well. You will see me on this channel. Have a great day, everybody. See you again next time.